So you saw the title, and you're curious now. How did I reach top tier in 300 hours? It's simple. Premiums. Alright, thanks for watching, and remember to smash that like button and hit subscribe. Okay. That's the short answer. Yes, I used a few premiums to grind out the American tech tree, like the F-20A, F-4S2, and A2D1, but the more I thought about making this video, I realized that I had never touched 90% of the planes I researched. It got me wondering, am I just a skillless wallet warrior? Is it just premium bias? Or am I actually decent at the game? So that's what we're gonna figure out. In today's video, I'm going to be getting a kill with every American fighter plane, ending with the 13.7 F-15C MSIP-2, and starting with the puny reserve plane, the BF-2C-1 Goshawk. Fair warning, I will be ignoring folded vehicles since they're typically very similar to each other anyways, and would just drag the video out to be a lot longer than it needs to be. I'm also going to be giving myself a rating after each match for how I think I did, so let me know in the comments if you agree or not. You know, this video was kind of stressful, and I found myself taking breaks to play this fun game I found. Right now, they're running an event called the Asgard Divide from August 21st to November 22nd, and it's all about Norse mythology. I'm talking Loki, Thor, Freya, and Odin. Some of the strongest and most well-known characters in Norse mythology are making their way to raid Shadow Legends. Everyone's a fan of Loki the Deceiver thanks to Marvel, and now you can get him as a ridiculously strong champion for free, and all you have to do is log in for 7 days between now and October 23rd. Log in 7 more days, and you can earn even more rewards in Phase 2. You'll also get to fight in the Event Dungeon, a limited time dungeon where you have to face off against Odin Father himself. Will you be strong enough to defeat him? One of my favorite things about the game is how quick it is. Dungeons only take a minute or so, and you can even put it on auto and watch your champions fight for you. So what are you waiting for? Let's work together as a team. Come and find me under the name Wub333 and join my exclusive clan, the Wubber Duckies. Scan my QR code or click the link down below, and let's fight for Teleria in Raid Shadow Legends. Remember, you can only get these insane bonuses if you use my link, like the Epic Grizzled Jarl upon sign up and the Epic Knight Errant once you reach level 15. Okay, so with such a long video ahead of us, I figured I would take this opportunity to kind of just talk. It's not really something I get to do in my usual style of video. Usually because it's like straight to the point. It's like, hey, today I have this question, so I made a spreadsheet that took me 2 months. Here you go. I want to really like just talk genuinely today. About like my life, personal stuff, and YouTube. So it's September 5th, the morning of September 5th. It's 1 a.m. A couple of days ago, I finally released my Chinese video that was basically just playing 100 matches and categorizing Chinese usernames I saw. So it was actually also my first sponsored video, so I was super excited to get that done. And but YouTube, the automated system, actually falsely flagged and removed the video. So of course I appealed, and I also in the meantime re-edited the video and re-uploaded it. But while the appeal was still in progress, my account was actually shadow banned, so it wasn't. The video was kind of just dead in the water. I think after like 2 hours, it had maybe 500 views. Like it was doing awful. But 6 hours later, it came back. I won the appeal. They removed the warning off of my channel, and the video started to do better. So, surprisingly, the video was seen by a lot of Chinese people, and they actually, with my permission, re-uploaded it to Bilibili, which is YouTube's Chinese alternative, right? It's the Chinese version of YouTube. And currently, as I'm recording this, the first Bilibili version has 90,000 views almost, and the second one, which was uploaded last night, has already almost 20,000 views, which is insane. And the YouTube one has 120,000 right now. So it revived. You know, it went from something that really scared me. But you know, like I'll talk about that a little bit later. But also from Bilibili, from all of the Chinese viewers, the Discord community actually tripled in 3 days. It went from 900 or 1,000 members to now we're nearing 3,000. So it's really incredible. It's a little scary as well, of course. Yeah, a lot of Chinese viewers wanted to help with the translations and the things that I got wrong. And they taught me quite a bit about, I actually in the last video used a social credit joke, which I guess is apparently pretty offensive to them. So I've learned from that, and I'm not gonna make social credit jokes now because, you know, I realize that actually hurts them and perpetuates a harmful narrative, which is of course not my goal. I just try to make objective videos, like spreadsheets. But yeah, no, I mean, I would be lying if I said I wasn't scared from the video being deleted and the strike and all of that. How would it affect my future? How would it affect this video's Raid Shadow Legends collab? How would it affect my future on YouTube, right? Thankfully though, I mean, clearly Raid did not really care, and they were like, yeah, we're all good. But you know, like, it was scary. I can't really talk about the money, but this is my first big paycheck from YouTube. So that's really cool. It's starting to look like full-time is a possibility, which has of course always been a dream. I started filmmaking with Lego stop motion in maybe 4th or 5th grade. And if there's a lot of comments that are like wanting to see it, I'll go and dig it up and post it on my Discord to share it with you guys. But you know, you gotta comment for that. I'm not gonna dig up like embarrassing from, oh god, how long ago was that? I think that was almost 15 years ago. That's kind of embarrassing. In Discord, or in high school, I also took some film classes, which is where I learned how to work a camera, framing, and some basic editing techniques. So, like, it's cool that I'm actually able to pursue this now and make it a reality. I have a pretty big goal for YouTube. It's 100,000 subs, which I feel like is more realistic. A lot of people, they're like, I want to hit 1 million. I want to be as big as PewDiePie. And that's good, of course, right? Like, that's motivation, like that, right? But I feel like you should also have little milestone goals that are more digestible. 100,000 is not easy, but it's definitely a lot easier. The current mini goal is 25,000, and I think at the rate we're going, we might actually reach that by the end of the year. 2 videos ago, I had 7,000 subs, and now we have 14 point something thousand. Like, I don't know, we're almost at 15, which in itself is insane. At 50,000 subs, I want a face reveal, but like I'm really torn between face reveal at 50,000 and face reveal at 100,000. I'm not really sure. It depends on how quickly we hit 50,000. That will really decide when. I also want to talk about the WUB channel, how it started, because a lot of people were clearly not here for the original stuff, and they certainly were not around when I was going by a different name. I'm not going to say what that name was because I don't want people digging any deeper into who I am. I feel like a lot of people don't really respect that I am a person too. Like I ran into a couple of people today in a game, where they were like, oh my god, wait, you're Wub, I saw your video today. That's so cool, I'm gonna save this replay. You're the second YouTuber I've ever talked to. And it's cute, like it's really like endearing to me, like it's very nice. But at the same time, you know, I feel like there should be, you know, boundaries between me and my personal life as well. You know, like I'm a person. that TLDR, too long, didn't read. I am a person as well. So back in 2020, around this time, I made a Twitter account. You know, I was still a kid and all, and I wanted money. So I just started tweeting dumb shit, because it was like around this time, Twitter had announced, like, if you get a lot of views, you can get a lot of money. So I was really trying with that. I basically had impersonated Lil Uzi Vert, a rapper, and would just post all day. And around this time, I started to get like addicted to Anthony Fantano's videos, and I was like, hey, I want to do that too. Like just sit around, listen to music, and then talk about it on YouTube. So I started a channel, and that's what I did. I only got to upload 3 or 4 videos, but they all flopped horrifically because I had no idea what I was doing, or how to make a good thumbnail. So instead, I started making Call of Duty videos where I played the hardest missions on Veteran and just threw funny music over it. And that did okay, but like it flopped and I just stopped. So fast forward 2 years, it's 2022, and my friend group, who you might have seen before in other videos, Michael, Alex, Baker, Owen, I started just uploading clips of us playing in random games, you know, like Hell Let Loose, Phasmophobia, VIII VR. It was just kind of like a place to catalog memories for ourselves, not really to like blow up or anything. And around this time, my friends were also really into War Thunder, but I didn't like it much, and they would always try to get me to like play it with them. I maybe like I was like level 8, like I was like level 8 or 9, and I actually uploaded my first short with War Thunder in it, got 1,000 views, which was small but better than everything else I had posted before. So I was like, you know, maybe I could try that. So the formula was the same, clips of playing with friends, but this time it was War Thunder, and I went really hard on this idea for a while. But one night I decided to buy $20 worth of trophies and just record it for fun. And I streamed it to the boys on Discord, and funnily enough, I got the same skin 3 times in a row. So I uploaded it to YouTube with a silly name, and it got 25,000 views. So I was like, okay, so, you know, like something is working here with War Thunder. So the formula changed again, and it became clips of playing with friends in War Thunder, but also gambling. And you know, that did good for a while, but I wanted to become a War Thunder partner. And I was denied twice, and on the 3rd time around, they were like, dude, you need to stop gambling and show the actual game. So I did that, and of course the views went down, but they let me in, so it was worth, you know, the temporary loss in views. And eventually, you know, like this went on for a while, and I got the idea to play 300 battles, keep track of everyone's BR, and make a spreadsheet about it, and thus we got which BR gets the most down tiers. Around that time, I think it got maybe 60,000 views and then died, but for the time I was stoked, obviously. Like, that was my 2nd or 3rd best performing video, so I was like, okay, formula shift again. This time it's just War Thunder spreadsheets. And after I started doing that, I mean, you can just look at the last 4 videos and see, you know, it turned out to be probably the best idea I've had regarding YouTube. And it's like unique. I'm not biting anyone's style. I'm not doing premium preview where I act like I'm Spookston or Oddboz, and you know, and I'm not gambling. This video is a little different, of course, though. I mean, spreadsheets are great, and I have ideas for more informational videos. But, you know, like, I need a break. I mean, it's exhausting to make the videos. Like, I love them, but it's just exhausting. Of course, I want to talk about other stuff too, You know, I think this is the happiest I've ever been, probably. Like, it feels like for once, like things are just kind of going my way. I've put a lot of time and effort, and of course also money into this YouTube thing, and it's finally paying off, it feels like. So, you know, like in the future, I'm trying to make this a full-time job, and it feels like it's finally becoming a reality, which is insane, especially if you see how small my channel is. But to that regard, you know, one thing that scares me is I may have pigeonholed myself, like putting all of my eggs in one basket, making everything about War Thunder. It does scare me because, you know, maybe one day I'll want to move on and make content about other games and topics. But if I do that, maybe my community might not be happy, you know, maybe YouTube algorithm won't share my video because it's different. You know, I don't want to be stuck doing just this, right? Yeah, in reality, I want to become a streamer that plays like various games or does IRL content. Like a couple of months ago in June, I did my first live stream IRL where me and the boys made alcohol and played Uno, and then the next day or so we grilled burgers drunk. Like just fun stuff. And I think there was maybe like 20 to 30 people watching live, which blew my mind. So, you know, I'd like to do more stuff like that. But also because it's just less work, you know, just to record and edit the last video. I had to do it by a certain timeline, or a certain deadline, so I locked myself in my room for 6 days, just to like record everything and edit it and just knock it out. I didn't really play anything or do anything else besides that. And, you know, like, I mean, I recognize it's easier than working a 9 to 5, and it pays as good or better. It's just extremely taxing on my mental and physical health. So I hope you guys understand that that is also a big reason why, you know, I'm not one of these creators that just pumps out videos, like bi-weekly or once a month. You know, it is very difficult, which I know is kind of like an oxymoron. I make videos and I'm calling it difficult, but there is a lot that goes in behind the scenes that isn't really appreciated or noticed. We can talk more about, you know, maybe becoming a streamer and whatnot another time, you know, in the future when I'm bigger. Definitely after I face reveal, because who wants to watch somebody with no face, right? But aside from that, I mean, I think life has been pretty good, I guess, you know. You might have wondered why I'm suddenly pumping out videos, which is definitely out of the ordinary for my channel. I'm kind of like the Avatar, dude. Like, I drop a video and then I disappear. Before this break, or before this, the break was like 8 months I took. And then I dropped a banger and then disappeared for 2 months to drop the Chinese video. But I keep skirting around it. Comedy is my way of coping. I actually lost my job in June, and I've been unemployed for 3 months, so I decided to use this time to really try my hardest. I'm making YouTube work. It hasn't been easy. I've really had to cut back on spending, and I still live with my parents, thankfully, because rent around here for a studio apartment is more than $1,000 a month. And so you couple that with, you know, all your income tax and, you know, electricity and your car, your insurance. You know, God forbid you get hurt and you have to go to the hospital. Well, you know, now you're in debt, right? So I'm thankful that, you know, they've been understanding and have supported me while I'm trying to make it work. But I've also been using this time to learn languages. It's a hobby that I'm very passionate about, and I've been passionate about it for maybe a decade. Starting in like early high school, early mid-high school. It's not impressive, but I learned how to phonetically read Cyrillic and Korean. And then fast forward January 2020, I began taking Japanese classes, which it's let me talk to some really cool people. I got to collaborate with some Japanese YouTubers, streamers, and even a channel that teaches Japanese, so that was really cool. And then in August this year, I started taking Mandarin classes, and I haven't had many classes yet, like maybe like less than 10, but I'll be taking it for another few years and then probably moving on to another language, like maybe whatever the most spoken dialect of Arabic is. I just think it's important to like communicate with more people. It's how we grow, by talking to people and broadening our views. But yeah, so life has been really good lately. Minus losing the job. That was not really good, but everything else has been pretty good, I think. But yeah, now it's looking like I'll be able to move out soon and actually take more control of my own life. One thing I've been thinking about is also hiring an editor to speed up the process. I think that could allow me to take on even more interesting video topics without being exhausted by the editing. Flashback to when I locked myself in my room for 6 days. But I've also been talking to a friend about getting an apartment together and starting our own YouTube channel or Twitch stream, since I've learned a lot in the 2 years that I've been running the WUB channel. So, you know, it would definitely be easier than when I first started. I don't really want to leave the WUB identity and channel behind. Again, it's just more stuff to talk about in the future. And speaking of the WUB identity, a lot of people have asked over the years where the name WUB or Wubby comes from, or why there's 333 at the end. Maybe for 25,000 subs, we can do a Q&A. Maybe it can be a live stream. I don't know, that could be pretty cool. Another thing, merch. I talked about dropping a couple t-shirts some time ago, but I never actually did it. So it might happen soon. I don't know. I've been thinking about it lately. I'd like to release a t-shirt with the finished design, and possibly a limited quantity t-shirt with the concept design. Like some like blueprint type stuff, you know. I think that could be very visually interesting. Possibly even hand signed. I don't know. I'd also like to make rubber duckies, since it's kind of like a mascot for the channel. Which it started when somebody called me Wubber Ducky, which I thought was cute and fit as a mascot. So I don't know. If you've made it this far, let me know your thoughts on it. And yeah, that kind of wraps up everything I wanted to talk about right now. Like just some stuff about the channel, the future, a couple of life updates. So if by now the video has not ended, I'm not really sure what I'll put on. The rest of the video might be a montage with some Jippy over it. Maybe the last couple of planes will be like, we'll have like actual commentary over it. So yeah, enjoy. I guess I'll see you later.
some music that we all should do. But consequently, we all haven't.
Boy, we are just smoking today. Man. You want to take this show and just roll it up in a gigantic paper and light it.
Smile up in your face and stick a knife in your back. Smile up in your face and stick a knife in your back. Smile up in your face and stick a knife in your back. Smile up in your face and stick a knife in your back. Smile up in your face and stick a knife in your back. Smile up in your face and stick a knife in your back. Smile up in your face and stick a knife in your back. Why's it like that? It's like black. Smile up in your face and stick a knife in your back. Smile up in your face and stick a knife in your back. Smile up in your face and stick a knife in your back. Smile up in your face and stick a knife in your back. Nah, it's just that sometimes I feel like
Johnny Mathis, Lee Charles, Igor Schwartz, Perez Alexandria, Johnny Pacheco. It was just
Okay, so I guess I opted for a montage instead. I hope you guys like Jippy's music. For me personally, they're just really good for YouTube, especially because he doesn't copyright them. Well, they are copyrighted, but he allows us to use his music in YouTube videos, which is really cool. Anyways, as you saw, it was my first time flying a lot of those planes, and some of them I did spend a few golden eagles to get certain modifications, like the AIM-9B on the F-104, but other than that, they were mostly stock. Looking back, I will be returning to some of the planes to finish spading them, like the F-4U4, F-80A5. I especially loved the F-9F2. I mean, that was my first game with it, and I got 5 kills. Like, that's a third of the enemy team, so it's a pretty good plane, I think. But some planes, I simply will not be returning to, because I admit I have a skill issue in the P61 and the P38. It's not my playstyle to just go really high and then drop on people. I get bored very easily, so That's why I kind of like quickly like went past them. You might have noticed I skipped a couple of the F4 Phantoms. It's because generally they're the same plane. Like let's not get it twisted. It's the same plane. Some of them have better armaments than others. I think if you want the best Phantom, it's the F4S2. Of course, you know, you have to shill $60 for it, but I think it's a great plane. It helped me grind like half of the American tree, so definitely consider it. I don't know, just saying, throwing it out there. But a lot of people fall into this same trap of, I'm gonna grind to top tier because I love the F-16, and then they just completely ignore like everything before it. And I'm guilty of that too, like let's face it. But this challenge, it honestly opened my eyes to a lot of planes that I would have ignored for a lot longer. So I recommend that everyone try this at least once, even though it was pretty time consuming. And if you enjoyed the video, how about subscribing? It's free and it'll help me reach my goal of 25,000 subs. Of course, don't forget to check the link in the description or the pinned comment. Come and join me under Wub333 and fight for my clan, the Wubber Duckies. Thanks again to today's sponsor, Raid Shadow Legends. And that's all for today.